Thanks for your interest in exercise science at SUNY Brockport. My name is Craig Mattern, and I coordinate the major at the college. So we've offered exercise science for several years at Brockport, but we're excited for the fall of 2021, which is the first year that we'll be offering two concentrations within the major. So this basically allows for the student to select whichever of these two concentrations interests them most. Option one is strength and conditioning, and option two is exercise for health promotion. So why might you choose SUNY Brockport for your exercise science degree? I've listed four great reasons here, and then we've got some other things that we'll talk about on the next slide. So first, you'll see that the major at Brockport is accredited by the Commission on Accreditation for Allied Health Education Programs. And then secondly, you'll also see that the major is endorsed by the National Strength and Conditioning Association. So what do these two endorsements or accreditations mean for students? Basically, what they mean is that these two agencies have come out to the college, they've looked at the facilities, they've met with the faculty, they've interacted with the students, they've spoken with the administrators, and they've put their seal of approval on the program. So then when you look across the country at how many exercise science programs are both accredited and endorsed, the list is relatively small. And we're quite proud of the fact that we're one of 20 exercise science programs in the country that enjoys that accreditation and endorsement. This has led to universities.com ranking the exercise science program at Brockport as the #1 exercise science program in the state of New York. In addition, we certainly get feedback from our students at the end of their time at Brockport. So when we have a group of graduating seniors, we have them complete a questionnaire and really evaluate their experience at the college, their experience within the major, and the graduate satisfaction rating from that survey is quite high. 98.6% of the students were quite pleased with their 4-year experience. We also then reach out to the students a year later to try and find out what they're up to. And we find that 92% of them are either employed in the field or they're enrolled in a graduate program. We've also got a large number of internship sites available for our students. You'll see when we look at the curriculum in a moment that the culminating experience for our exercise science students is an off-campus internship. And we've got an internship coordinator, and she, of course, facilitates that internship experience for our students. And we've got over 300 internship sites to choose from. Let's talk a little bit about what our students do after they graduate. Our alumni are out there doing some terrific things. So you can see on the left side, some of our alumni are choosing to use their fee or use their degree directly after they finish their 4-year degree and work in the field of exercise science. So you can see that we've got alumni working as strength and conditioning coaches. We've got individuals who are working in various aspects of the fitness industry. And then we've got also folks who are working in the field of cardiac rehabilitation or pulmonary rehabilitation, which is more of a clinical environment, working more in hospital settings. We also have a large percent of our students who are interested in going on to graduate school in a wide array of allied health related fields. Far and away, the most popular directions our students go would be bullet number 3 listed there, physical therapy. But we've also sent plenty of students on to do master's and PhD work in exercise physiology and strength and conditioning. And then we've also had students go on to become occupational therapists, athletic trainers, head off to PA school, or become biomechanists or chiropractors. So over the several years that I've been at the College of Brockport, we've certainly sent students off to graduate school in all of these different areas. Talk a little bit about the curriculum at Brockport. So basically what you're seeing here is a listing of all of the required classes taken by all exercise science majors. So it doesn't really matter what concentration the student is going to choose, they're going to take all of these classes. These classes are really designed to give the student an understanding of how the human body responds and adapts to exercise, and then to build upon that and teach students how to design exercise programs for a wide array of individuals. You might be designing exercise programs for athletes, or maybe you're designing an exercise program for the general population looking to just improve their health and well-being. or maybe you're needing to design an exercise program for an older person, or maybe someone who has a pre-existing health condition, with the hope of having that exercise program be able to help them manage that health condition better as they age. So you can see that the curriculum begins with a great foundation in anatomy and physiology, and then we build upon that with some exercise science specific courses that you see here. And then when the student gets to their junior, senior year, they're starting to take classes that are targeted specifically at teaching the student how to design exercise programs for those various populations. As we talked about before, then the experience is going to culminate with that internship, 320-hour internship facilitated by our internship coordinator. Then you can see that there are a cluster of classes that students who are concentrating on strength and conditioning will take. And then there's a different cluster of classes that students focused on exercise for health promotion will take. Obviously, a student who's interested in working in the field of strength and conditioning is going to choose that concentration. Student interested in working with the general population, working in the fitness industry, or working in a more clinical population is going to choose the exercise for health promotion concentration. At this point, you're probably wondering too why some of these classes are listed in gold and why others of these classes are listed in white. And basically, the classes listed in gold are classes that have labs associated with them. And you can see that in the core curriculum, there's a lot of classes associated, there are a lot of classes that have labs associated with them. And the same goes for our two concentrations. So it's pretty obvious that we're big believers in hands-on learning experiences in our exercise science program at Brockport. Those hands-on labs are taking place in our newly renovated exercise science lab. You can see we've got a lot of open space to work with. We've also got all the necessary equipment that one would need in order to teach the fundamental principles of exercise science and also teach how to perform various physiological assessments. Next to that, but in a separate room, is the faculty student research lab. We've got students who are interested in collaborating with faculty on research projects, or maybe students that are also in our honors college doing their own independent research. So this is a space for all of those types of things to happen while classes can still be taught in that other lab space. We've also got some hands-on learning experiences in two specific senior level classes, PEP 455 and PES 416. PEP 455 is a practicum class. Students have an opportunity to choose to work in one of three environments as a part of that class. They can work in our faculty staff training program, or they can work with retired veterans in our GeroFit program, or they can work with our varsity athletes in our strength and conditioning space. And then with PES 416, all of the students are going to take that class. It's a required course, just like PEP 455 is. 416 is going to focus on a research experience. So students come into the class, they're asked to ask a research question, and then they're going to design an experiment in order to answer that question, collect the data for that experiment, analyze that data, and ultimately be able to scientifically answer that question. All of that happens in a group setting. So students are working with their peers in order to answer those questions and move through the research process. Of course, the culminating hands-on experience for our students, though, as we've been hinting at before, is the internship experience. We've said we've got over 300 different internship sites. Obviously, that's way too many to fit on one slide. And so what I've done here is I've just tried to take an example or several examples of internship sites that we have agreements with, and I've put them into 5 different categories. So if a student is interested in being in a clinical environment, you can see some examples here. If a student wants to work in corporate fitness, you can see some examples that we've sent students to and we have agreements with. If a student really enjoyed their research experience in PES 416 and decides that's for them, we've got some research opportunities for them for their internship. Strength and conditioning, obviously, we've got an entire concentration focused on that, but we're going to have internship experiences associated with that. And of course, the fitness industry is a very common direction our students are interested in. We've got a lot of terrific relationships with area fitness facilities, and a lot of our alumni are working in and running those types of programs. So if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to me. My email address is there on the screen for you. My phone number is there for you. And of course, if you're interested in following us on social media, you can do so, and our links to both Instagram and Facebook are down below. Thanks for your interest.